Yo, what's up guys, it's RC. Today I'm going to explain a recent drama that has been going on between Trisha Paytas and Gabbie Hanna, because Gabbie Hanna just dropped a video that completely exposes Trisha Paytas, so much so that the hashtag apologize to Gabbie Hanna started trending on Twitter. Basically, this video was more or less a response to a video that Trisha Paytas had made about a year ago. In this video, she talked about Gabbie Hanna and said that she was annoying and self-centered, and she went around telling people that Trisha Paytas had herpes without any proof. She also said Gabbie harassed and stalked her. So today, over a year later, in response to that video, and also to respond to the claims by Trisha Paytas saying that Gabbie Hanna isn't and wasn't ever her friend, Gabbie Hanna showed a bit of a podcast that had been cut out of the original video to expose the real truth of their friendship, the drama, and Trisha Paytas' disgusting actions. The information is all over the place for this confusing drama, but today I'm going to explain it quickly and clearly, so hopefully you'll understand it a bit better after this video is over. If you enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. I summarize drama like this all the time, and with your help I can reach my goal of 4,000 subscribers. But let's get into what Gabbie Hanna reveals about this drama in her new video. Firstly, she debunks Trisha's claims of her stalking Trisha, because the only proof that Trisha has of this was the fact that Gabbie was texting her a lot. But since the last time I checked, was texting stalking? Because she was just texting her at the same time that Trisha was texting her back. So I'm not really sure how this can be classified as stalking, and I'm sure that Gabbie Hanna felt the same way. Now, another important drama they discuss in this is the time when Gabbie Hanna and Trisha Paytas talk about Gabbie's upcoming poetry book. Then Gabbie Hanna asked for Trisha's address to send it to her so she could check it out. In these texts, Trisha Paytas makes it seem that she was very eager to read that book, but Trisha doesn't reply with her address, so Gabbie Hanna can't send her book. But a few days later, Trisha Paytas actually makes a vlog where she says this.
Joey sent me this awesome package. I don't, like, when people ask me for my address, like, I never give people my address. Well, obviously he knows mine because obviously he's been here, but like other YouTubers, if I'm not close with or I'm not your friend, like I'm not about to like give you just, you know, what's your address, I can send you a fucking book so you can promote me. No.
Now in Gabbie's video, she tells Gabbie that she wasn't actually talking about her, and it was about another one of her YouTube friends, that she was telling her not to send stuff to her place, and it wasn't about Gabbie. But Gabbie Hanna has receipts of her asking for Trisha's address to send the book just before that, not to promote it, but just to give it a read. And what are the odds that two YouTubers in the same space of time want your address to give you their book to read? Of course, it's very low. Like I said before, this wasn't the only thing that Trisha Paytas had claimed about Gabbie. One of the main things she said was that they were never at any point friends. As we go further into this video, there'll be even more proof, but some of the proof that Gabbie brings up that they were friends was the fact that they had met up in real life a few times and even went to a party. In this party, there wasn't really much of an exchange, and Trisha actually left after a while, but Gabbie claims that Trisha actually ignored her at this party. Gabbie Hanna also said that after this party, Trisha started talking crap behind her back on podcasts. This is also when Trisha said that she was never friends with Gabbie, and that Gabbie was delusional, but this wasn't the truth, because Gabbie shows texts where they clearly are friends. She even goes on to say that they've talked about private relationships, family issues, and like they talked about before, they've gone to parties together as well. In another text, Trisha later apologizes for ignoring her at a party, and they make up. They continue to text, and in Trisha Paytas' own words, they used to text a lot. So if they used to text this much, why does Trisha Paytas keep on spreading the false narrative that they weren't friends? They continue to text a lot, and this only stops after the whole book ordeal that I previously mentioned when Trisha blocks Gabbie. Gabbie Hanna says that Trisha Paytas even revealed a private relationship that Gabbie Hanna was part of in one of her vlogs, and only took this vlog down when Gabbie Hanna told her to, since that relationship hadn't been made public. Gabbie Hanna also talks about one of the many times that Trisha throws shade at her by saying stuff on Shane's podcast like...
Again, once again, someone that there's no proof.
I watched the podcast too, and your video.
And what did I say? What did I say?
Like, there were these YouTubers, like they act like they love me, they act like my fans, but then as soon as we're in person...
I never use the word fans about anybody, ever. Not even the people who support me. I hate the word fans.
You said it in the video.
Okay, oh my god.
You know who you are if you're watching this. And I'm sure they are because they're my biggest fans. If they treat me like shit in public, hate you.
Now you can see by this clip that Trisha was denying even the most pettiest things, like saying fans for example. Trisha Paytas then says that the main reason she didn't like Gabbie was the herpes incident, but Gabbie says and proves with receipts that she never publicly talked about this, and even when she had shared a picture of someone saying they had herpes on her story, you can't say who this person is because you clearly can't see the name of the person in the DM. In addition, in this video that Gabbie Hanna talks about someone with herpes, she never once mentions Trisha Paytas' name. So unlike what Trisha had said multiple times in her videos and outside of it, Gabbie Hanna hadn't once said that Trisha Paytas had herpes, and she had never spread this rumor that, according to Gabbie, none other than our man Shane Dawson had started. There's even more, because Trisha Paytas says some other things that people have been saying against Gabbie to show that a lot of people in the community don't like Gabbie, and even said there was a rumor against Gabbie that she hadn't properly credited Dylan Gardner. This once again was proven wrong though because of a receipt which shows Dylan Gardner confirming that she had credited him and it was all good, further proving that Trisha Paytas had gone around spreading false narratives and rumors about Gabbie Hanna behind her back. And this video takes a turn for the worst as Trisha Paytas starts to gaslight Gabbie Hanna when Gabbie tells her that they have texted for about 3 years, but Trisha straight up denies it despite the overwhelming amount of proof, but it makes Gabbie Hanna feel delusional or gaslighted. All in all, this drama is just crazy, man. I don't really have respect for either of these creators because of the stuff that they have done in the past. Because of those, I can't deem any of these people as good people, but just for this situation, I feel bad for Gabbie Hanna because the fact that for over 2 years, Trisha Paytas had spread a narrative to her following that Gabbie Hanna is delusional and is not her friend and never was is just disgusting. Especially because they used to talk about a lot of private stuff, some of which Trisha has leaked to the internet without Gabbie's permission. After seeing this video, a lot of people wanted to see Trisha apologize to Gabbie, so a bunch of commentators got together and tweeted #apologize to Gabbie Hanna, and it started trending on Twitter. A lot of these tweets though did bring up a good point, saying that just because Gabbie Hanna was right in this situation doesn't mean necessarily that she's a good person, because just a week ago she got exposed for doing some horrible things herself. But that's a completely different story that I've already talked about, and I think that's all I have to talk about in this situation for today. So until the next one, stay safe, see you guys.